Hello, beautiful beings. Okay, I was going to record a video today after work about this sociopath that I encountered this summer. And I just got done cleaning this house, the one that I encountered him at. And he just drove by and he put his brakes on when he saw me. And I just wanted to be recording if he indeed does come back down here. I will record more about it a little bit later when my phone is steady. Sorry, it's wiggling. I'm walking. No, he kept going. Okay, so here, let me get sat down. I was interviewing a lady to start cleaning her house yesterday, when she was interviewing me too. And for some reason, sorry about that, for some reason, sociopaths came up. And I told her about my experience with one this summer. I just got done cleaning this house and I was putting my stuff away and I realized that I just locked my phone in the house. And I hadn't written the code down yet because it was, a brand new clean for me. And I was, I was starting to panic a little bit, there's something about the phone that makes me panic if I lose it or something. And anyway, so yeah, the ancients are saying just another opportunity to let go of resistance. So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to put my stuff away. And the ancients said, hey, you need to stop and pray for a second. And I was just like, oh, you're so right. So I was facing my car door. And I said, please make it plainly obvious what I should do about getting my phone back. Ancients, please slow me down a little bit. And right when I opened my eyes, I heard this man say, hey, do you clean houses? I didn't even hear his truck pull up. And he was at the end of the driveway. He was already out of his truck and he was walking up the driveway. And I said, yeah, do you have a ladder? Because I just locked my phone in this house and I know there's a window with the air conditioner in it that I could go up and, go in and get my phone. He said, and at that point, I had walked a little ways down this driveway and then I turned around and I was headed back to my car and I heard him mutter under his breath, it wouldn't be worth it. I didn't get any fear bumps. No, the ancients weren't saying, run, get out of here. Nothing. Absolutely quiet. And I turned around and looked at him and I said, it wouldn't be worth getting a ladder to help me get my phone out of the house? And he goes, oh, no, of course it would be. But it was weird. It weirded me out. I didn't understand why he said that because he was talking to himself. He didn't realize that I would be able to hear him. Anyway, but I know that's exactly what he heard. They made sure that I heard him say that, they're saying. So he went and got a ladder and we put it up against the back of the house and I climbed up and I went through the window, grabbed my phone and, came out. Anyway, so he said, so I'm caretaking this place. I've been taking this place right up the road here, and I'd really like to have it cleaned for them before they get back. They're coming back in 2 days. And I was standing here and I thought, well, it's broad daylight. There's houses around, because I normally wouldn't go in a house with a man that I don't know. But I wasn't getting any warning signs. So we left here. I went right up the road, like 2 drives down, and I went in this house. This is going to be disturbing. Just a warning. For empaths out there, you're going to feel this energy. I got to this place, and it was an incredibly old house. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Oh my gosh. It's been almost 2 months since this experience and I have not seen him till now. And today I literally started making recording a video earlier when I was folding towels, but I just move way too fast. I cannot make a video while I'm moving around. But so I didn't, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I even told the lady yesterday, I said, okay, it's up. I have to make a video about this because I really want to warn people. I would have bet my life, I would have staked my life on the fact that I would have never, ever, that my spidey sensors are so acute that of course I would be able to sense danger. Well, not from a sociopath or a psychopath because they don't have the same emotions we do. They only pretend like they are feeling anything. Certain people, this guy, he didn't have a vibe and I wasn't used to that. So anyway, so I went down to that house and the second I walked in this door, it was like, it's over 100-year-old house. It was an old homestead, I could tell. Very, very short ceilings. I stepped over the kitchen threshold and I immediately put my hand on my chest and I said, wow, it's really thick in here. It's really hard to breathe in here. And it was really dark too. It wasn't just dim, it was pretty dark. And I said, and it's really dark in here too, and still nothing. No, like, I better get out of here. Nothing like that. And I walked in further through the kitchen and he goes, okay, I'd really like you to clean the kitchen. And he said, it'd be really nice if you could get these stains out of the floor. And I said, well, I don't have a carpet shampoo, or, I don't usually clean the carpets. But I have some, spray and wash works really well for that. I could spray it on there while I'm cleaning other things and then kind of scrub it on my way out. He was just like, that'd be great. Really super friendly guy. Talked about his grandkids, his children, regular normal stuff. Stuff that would lure people in and make him feel like he was normal, whatever normal is. Well, friendly enough to be around without feeling afraid. So we go in straight from the kitchen and there's a living room. All the blinds are closed. And I was just like, wow, it is so dark in here. He's just like, yeah, sorry about that. I'm sorry I'm going so fast. I'm still learning how to go more slowly with so much energy going through me. Divine energy. I don't mind it at all. I used to just sob all the time because I was just overwhelmed with it. Not in a bad way, but anyway, so, okay, so we check out the living room and he's just like, could you just dust this? He kept saying, okay, could you just dust this and vacuum? I said, you mean clean it? I said that twice and I still had my hand on my chest. And so we leave the living room and then there's a big wide hallway where I could tell it was wide enough for a wheelchair to go down. And I stopped and I was looking at this picture on the wall and I was just like, wow, this is pretty cool. I couldn't see it very well because it was so dim. And I was just like, wow, it's kind of like a maze in here. And I go down, I start going down this hallway and I didn't step over this threshold. It was like they had added onto this house over the years. And I kind of looked both ways. And I looked right, and it was pitch dark back there. And I thought, I don't want to go down there. I don't want to go down there. It's really dark down there. And I still had not stepped 1 foot over that, the doorway. And I looked left, and there was a much brighter room with a window and a red and white checkered tablecloth. And I took a step over the threshold, and all of a sudden, this old man was standing there. I'm a medium also. This old man was standing there very close to me, in front of me. And they don't usually show up that close unless I'm holding satsang with somebody and, it's a loved one of theirs. Well, at that, usually if a loved one shows up that has dropped their physical form, they show up beside the person I'm holding satsang with. They're not so close in front of me. And I said, oh, there's an old man here in front of me. He feels very friendly. And this man, Dave, he was about 4 feet in front of me. He literally jumped off of the floor. It scared him so bad. And I said, this old man, he seems really friendly. I said, oh, I'm a medium, by the way. And he goes, well, that would be Bud. He used to own the house, and all of a sudden there was an old woman here too. And I said, oh, his wife is here too. And he just like rubbed his arm and he said, man, oh man, you're scaring the bejesus out of me. You're giving me the creeps, man. He said, I got goosebumps. And I said, well, they don't feel bad though. They feel like really nice people. And he said, well, that would be Ruth. That was Bud and Ruth. They used to own this place. They owned it for a really long time. I said, has this house been like generational? He goes, yeah. And I said, and I took a couple more steps and I looked to my right and I did go a little bit further, and he said, there's a bathroom back here. It was just right off to the right. And he kept saying, okay, you don't have to, as we were going down this hall, there was a few rooms. He was like, oh, you don't have to worry about this room. You don't have to worry about this room. One of the beds I could tell had been slept in. And I said, you really, this entire time I had my hand on my chest, you really sleep in here? Well, I'm just house sitting right now. My house is getting worked on up the road, past this house. And even as I talk about it, it's difficult. I actually tried to make a video about this the same day. 3 times my recorder shut off. And I said, okay, I must be too emotionally charged or something. And it was the next day, actually, that I tried to record a video about it. Anyway, it just makes me feel like crying. Because I would have staked my life on the fact that I never, ever would have put myself in this position. And so Bud and Ruth saved me. They absolutely did. The divine had them show up so I could get the hell out of there. So anyway, I looked at this bathroom that he wanted me to clean, and it looked like nobody had cleaned it ever. It was so disgusting. The energy was getting more and more oppressive. And so I turned around and I said, man, I can't breathe in here. I just can't breathe in here. And I said, I got to get out of here. And I almost ran down the hall and through the kitchen, took a left through the kitchen. I busted out of the kitchen door. I'm not exaggerating. And I went out and I took my shoes off and I put my feet in the grass. And I literally was bent over holding onto my knees, just like taking deep breaths like I'd been holding my breath. And I said, man, oh man, the energy in there is so bad. And I said, and it smells so bad too. I said, I don't know. And I kept calling him man for some reason. I said, I don't know, man. It seems disrespectful to call somebody I just met, talk to them like that. But I said, I don't know, man. I don't think I can do anything for this place. Normally when I clean a place, I'm also doing energy work and neutralizing any negative energy, but this place feels really oppressive. He was just like, well, I don't know about that. And I said, I do. I said, okay, well, I'm going to go now and I'm going to go see my dog. I really miss him. And he said, well, okay. He said, well, I'm going to give you a call. I'm with the railroad. So if I don't get back to you right away, it's because I got called out on the train. I said, okay. And I already knew that I wasn't coming back to do this place. And so I messaged him right after I got home and I said, no, I'm not going to be cleaning your place. I'm so sorry. I can't help you with this. He had actually told me before I left, he said he was going to pay me double. He was going to pay me $250 to come back and do this house. And it would have taken me maybe 3 hours, what he showed me all I needed to do. Maybe 3.5. And he felt desperate to have me. That's the only time I picked up on anything. Well, it's because he was acting desperate. Well, no, I really, really need to get it done. It wasn't even a vibe I picked up. It was what he was saying that made him seem desperate. But he wasn't desperate to have the house cleaned. He was desperate to have me come back. And later that night I was talking to my mom. It hadn't fully hit me yet what I had just escaped. When he muttered under his breath, when I told my mom what he had said to me under his breath, what he had said to himself under his breath, it wouldn't be worth it. I realized at that moment that his intentions were really, really bad towards me, and he was weighing it in his mind. And he was saying to himself, it wouldn't be worth it. And so I know that I was divinely protected, and I just really want to warn you that you can't, even if you feel like you'd never put yourself in this position, we can't always read people. They don't have a vibe. Sociopaths don't have a vibe. They're born without the same emotions that we have. And so they've learned throughout their lifetime to act like they are supposed to. But I've watched enough things on, YouTube or whatever, I've been fascinated by these people. I've studied them at length for years and years. My last husband, I was married for 10 months. He was a sociopath, and I didn't pick up on it because he didn't have a vibe. Anyway, that's a whole nother video. So, a week after it happened, I drove down to these people's house, and there was a different car there. It was a white car, and I stopped there, and this young girl answered the door. And I said, do you live here? She says, yes, I live here with my grandfather. And I told her what happened, and she was very disturbed by it. And I said, do you guys know this man? And she said, he's a family friend. And by then, the grandfather was standing behind her. They didn't have a bad vibe at all. I could totally pick up on their vibe. And I told him how disturbed I was, and I started crying, and I said, I feel like he was going to do something really bad to me. And the old guy said, that's Dave. I was just like, really? Really? He said, yeah. And I said, thank you so much for validating that. Oh, here he comes, I think. Nope. So I was just like, okay, ancients, how can I do this when I encounter another sociopath? Because they're everywhere. They are everywhere. And they're just acting normal. Anyway, so I asked the ancients and the divine, which is all the same to me. When should I have cut it off without picking up a vibe, without any fear in my body or sensing anything wrong? And it was when I asked him to go get me a ladder. I was so desperate to get my phone back. I would have had to drive over an hour, round trip to actually come back before I would get back to the house to get my phone out. Well, that doesn't matter. I would have drove 3. It wouldn't have even mattered. I was without it no, I wasn't. No, I went and got it. Anyway, so I would have been willing to wait a week to not put myself through him putting the ladder up there and watching me climb up it. That is where I will not put myself in that position. That was horrible. It was a horrible experience for me. I felt so uncomfortable. I knew he was watching me all the way up there and all the way down. Why didn't I come out the front door? I don't know. I climbed back out the window. I didn't even think about it. I put myself through that twice. Anyway, so I have enough self-respect to not ever put myself through that again. And I am not going to be desperate enough to put myself in that position with a man. And also what I found out from these people was he doesn't live up the road. He lives down the road. He lied to me about where he lived. So please don't, even if you tell yourself, well, I would never do that. We all watch these horrible things, where people get taken and bad things happen and they get killed and stuff. Oh, that would never happen to me. Yes, it could. If you're depending on your spidey senses, yes, it could. So please just don't even give them the benefit of the doubt. Even if it's broad daylight and there's houses around, please don't do it. Don't go in the house. Don't go in the house. Don't trust him, no matter how nice he seems. Take care of yourself. Be careful. Love you so much.